Okay, so what I want to talk to you about right now is the sale of the product NYC English, because it seems that when I do training, um, I I focus a little bit more on the recruiting, which is a very natural way. Things we're at the very beginning. Okay, we are looking at building a network. We want to have as many distributors as possible before we are pushing sales. But obviously, as distributors, you are right now trying to, you're scratching your head and say, okay, I'm a distributor. I have this application. I have NYC English. How can I sell this product? And you need to understand one thing is whatever strategies I talk to you about for recruiting, it actually worth also for selling. So selling and recruiting is the same. It's the same. Recruiting, obviously, you recruit people, distributors who are selling. You're selling an app, okay? But it's very similar when it comes to go after customers. You also have those four different strategies. You have the prospecting and the marketing, and you have the warm market and the cold market. It's exactly the same when it comes to getting customers, okay? Now you need to be really clear, you need to be very clear on what type of customers you want. So if you're looking at customers as like companies, the approach will be different than if you're looking at people who won't learn English. So that's two different things. So now let's talk about people first. And it can be warm or cold market, doesn't matter. What you want to do is, and that might sound obvious, but you're looking for people who are looking for a solution. They have a problem, they have a challenge, which is learning how to speak the language or improve the language. And you need to identify and find these people. How do you find these people? There's two different ways. Again, prospecting means you ask questions to people. Are you looking at learning English or improving your English? That's a question, okay? And that's prospecting. Or you post content, you do things related to English, and anyone who sees you comes to you and say, hey, I want to learn English, maybe you can help me out. So these are two different ways, okay? Again, don't think about a warm or cold market yet. Think about just either you go to people and ask them questions, relevant questions, or you build something and the people come to you. Two different strategies. Now, if you want the fastest strategy, I would say this. It's either prospecting, hot or cold, doesn't matter, or marketing warm. That's two different things. Prospecting I like because you control basically the number of people you're in contact with every day. But if you just start, let's say, with the marketing, and you post something on your own Facebook page, you post something about English, or for example, a placement test. So we have just now we're releasing now a placement test or some kind of quiz where people can answer these questions, and at the end they have to fill in their email just to get the full report on their by email. So what we're doing is trying to give you some tools, okay, like quizzes, so for people to take. And if they do take it, then it gives you something for you to use. You can look at the results of the person's quiz and work around it. Okay, but let's go back a little bit around it. Again, the very fundamental way to get people is through either you go to them or they come to you. Okay, they come to you, can be a quiz. You go to them, it can be you on face-to-face or by messenger, and getting to the topic. Hey, are you looking for ways to improve your English? I saw, for example, you see some people following English teachers, or you saw some people in Facebook groups who are into the learning English thing, okay? So what you want to do when you go to people is to identify whether or not they are looking at speaking English, okay? Whether or not they actually have a budget for it, and whether or not they are willing to start it now or in the next 2 months. If out of the 3 questions the answer is no, or maybe they want to speak English but they don't have any money, no, it's not a good prospect for you. They want to speak English, they have the money but they won't start before next year, not a good person for you. Or they don't want to learn English because they don't care, not a good thing for you. So you see, you need, what people misunderstand with sales is you don't sell to people who don't want to buy, because this is too hard. It means convincing people. And we're not here to convince people. We are here to find the people who say to the question, who wants to speak English? Me. We're looking for those people who raise their hands. That's number 1. Number 2, okay? Imagine a room full of 1,000 people and you ask the question, who wants to improve English or learn English? Let's say half of the room raise their hand. Me. Okay, cool. Now, my second question is, who actually has a budget to learn? Like you pay for what you're getting. So if it's free, you know what you get, right? So if you're serious about it, you know you have to pay for it. Do you have a budget? Do you have some money available to actually spend on your education? So maybe out of those 500 people who had their hands up, maybe 400 don't have their hands up anymore. So they want to learn English, but 400 people don't want to spend anything. So you have 100 people left, or maybe 50 people left. Okay. Out of those 50 people, you ask them, do you want to start now or in the next 2 months? If the answer is yes, this person you want to talk to. This is the person you want to talk to. If the answer is no, you don't want to talk to that person. You see, this is like super important. When you do, before you actually explain what the product is, you need to make sure you spend time with the right people. That's why I always say, speak less to more people. If the person who wants to speak English has a bit of budget and ready to start now, that's probably a very good prospect for you. But if the person wants to speak English but doesn't have any budget or wants to start next year, it's not a right prospect for you. And this you need to put into your head. You have to go after people who are looking for a solution now. That's the very, very basic. Number 1 is get and talk to the right people. If you do this, the rest will feel so simple. So I hope you get that. Number 1, make sure you talk to the right people. Now, number 2, when you talk to the people who want to learn English, have a little bit of budget, they're willing to start now, you need to think not about the product features, but about the benefits of the product. You don't buy an English course because it has it's in HD, it has this, it has that. No, you buy it because you believe it will help you learn the language. It will help you within 3 months or 6 months get you the American accent, for example. It will help you removing all the mistakes you're doing. What you want to focusing on is to sell the benefits. It's to talk about the benefits. It's to educate people on the benefits. Okay, the features, it's a 1 A4 paper with all the details. That's fine, but you should not. You should really be really clear about the benefits, and the benefits are very simple. Okay, what are the benefits? Do you know? Okay, the benefits of NYC English is we teach you. We're focused on listening and speaking. That's the benefits. Once you use that product, after that you can listen and speak better. That's the benefits. How we do that? We have an app and a coach that come with it. Okay, that's the how. And then the what is the app has 3 levels. So beginner, intermediate, advanced. It has each levels has themes, 30 themes. Each themes has 10 modules. Each modules is about 5 to 15 minutes long, and it can be exercises. And these are like the small detail, the small points. But you need to start with the idea of the benefits, the clear benefits, and the big thing. The people are asking themselves when they see NYC English or whatever is this going to work for me? And this is where you come in. This is where you have your value. Your value as I'm going to track and make sure that you succeed. How you do this? Very similar to what I said last night in the training. You ask the person to say how many hours a day or a week they commit themselves to use the app. How many hours? And you do this on a Monday, for example, or Sunday evening, and Friday or Saturday, you do a debrief and say, okay, how many have you actually done? Fairly simple. Yeah. So I would say it's very important for you to understand the product, this is for sure, but most importantly, the benefits of the product. Okay? You need to ask the right question at the beginning to get to the right person. And once you're in front of the right person, you need to emphasize on the benefits. And one important point, and this I got it from Prabha, don't actually send them the demo. Because if you send them the demo, you lose them. Someone interested in the app, if you send them a demo, you have a higher chance of losing them. Obviously, if they are far away, what I suggest is you do a Skype call and you share your screen. If you don't know how to do this, go on YouTube and type how to share my screen on Skype. Okay? Any question you have, technically, search on YouTube how to do this, how to do that. Every questions are on YouTube. Okay? That's the best e-training you can find there. So, regarding the demo, use it for yourself to show people. Okay? You show them how it works. All right? But the value is you coaching them, being there. That's a big difference. They are looking at some, the aha moment. And I believe the aha moment is when you tell them, I'm going to help you. I'm going to make sure you actually pass the level. And being a coach, people ask me, what is being a coach? I actually don't know if I should write a instruction manual with 3 lines. First line would be, you can make that manual if you want. First line would be, help your customer download the app and use the app. That's number 1. Okay? Help them download and use the app. You show them. It takes an hour for one client. Okay? Second is send a message, if possible every day, or at least once a week. That's very, very minimum. On how is it going? What did you do? What did you do last week? What do you plan to do this week? That's a very, very, very minimum. But if it's a good friend or they really told you, I need you to help me out, you can even do a coffee once a week or once a month with them and have a chat. Okay? So being a coach is number 1, you help the person to download the app. Number 2, you help the person and you show the person how to use the app. And number 3, you contact the person daily or at least weekly to measure the progresses. Okay? That's what you do as a coach. Sorry. One thing you need to understand is for the warm market, a sale is so one thing as well I would say is posture. The posture is very important. The posture means how do you behave in front of a customer. You don't want to be like almost begging and be on your feet and say, please download my app or please buy my thing, please. You're not doing this. You're helping them achieve that goal. You're helping them. So you need to understand that you're here as an educator. You help them, you educate them on a way they can learn a language. And that way is they need to do it every day. Half an hour minimum, an hour is the best. Every single day. And you're here to be sure of that. Does Duolingo does that? Hell no. Doesn't do 1% of what we do, okay? So this is really important for you to point it out, is that we combine the app, the software, okay, a huge software, with coaching. We make this connection. That's what we're about. And they're either interested or they're not. You can do a follow-up later on, but at the end of the day, they will choose. Is there any other options? Yes, of course. I tell people, I say, well, yeah, there are other things that are actually even for free. You can go for free. But have you ever had like something for free? You would know the difference. And something that costs you $5 and something that costs you $100, maybe there's a little bit of a difference, right? So if someone tells you, oh, it seems expensive, that's kind of an objection. Oh, it's expensive. First thing is you say, well, it's quality, and I know that you care about quality. You don't want to buy something that has no quality or even get it free. You know what it's worth, right? You want to buy quality. You're someone who likes quality. That's one thing that actually usually works, because it's the truth. We are selling something of high quality, okay? That's very, very important. So it's expensive. Yeah, it's not cheap. It's not expensive, because expensive, I can show you something expensive and that doesn't work. We are the most affordable e-learning platform on the market. That's it. Okay? And if they tell you, it is expensive, say, well, I'm here. Do you think that $30 for 3 months with me as a coach is expensive? Really? So, for selling the product, we'll get Prabha and Mark to give you more info on the product, but you don't really sell the product. You sell yourself. You sell an idea. And the idea is this: if you're serious in English, to learn English, if you're serious to change your life, and by the way, if you tell me $130 is expensive and $390 is expensive, really? Like literally, how much is going to be your salary higher, 30, 40, 50% higher for life when you speak English? So you'll make those 130 or 260 or 390 every single month after you've done that. That's the best return on investment I ever seen. So if you put in 130 or 260 or 390, this is an investment. This is not a spending. This is not like you're spending on a phone. And by the way, do you have an iPhone? What's your return on investment on your iPhone? Right. This is an education. This is on yourself. If you're buying the product, you will get better. If you get better, you get a higher salary. And that is for life, my friend. That is for life. So you need to get people to see the big picture. They invest in themselves. You are here as a guarantor making sure it will happen. But they need to understand that this investment is for them. Okay? This is not a cost. It's a way, it's like you build a house and then you put it for rent. You get money every month coming in. That is the same for you. If you buy the app, you will get better. You will get a higher salary every single month for life. Don't tell me $130 is too expensive for you. Don't tell me that. All right, so we'll get more into the product, the depth in the product with Prava and Mark. That I promised you already. But again, what you're selling is an idea that things don't come for free. And if you invest in quality, then you get a return. That's what you're selling. Fairly simple. Okay? All right, so wish you a great day, and let's keep rocking, guys.